everybody. My name is John Fleming. I am a sales manager with EFI, and today's demo is with our PrintSmith Vision MIS software. The screen that you're currently looking at is a fairly new version of PrintSmith Vision called Fast Track. We redeveloped the program in the popular HTML5 language. It is Mac friendly, Windows friendly. It'll work great on your iPad. And if you want to get a quick access of your shop, you can even use your iPhone, your Android, any tablet, or any mobile device. This is what we would call the main menu, the dashboard of PrintSmith Vision. As you can see, it's got a lot of great information. Let me take some time and show you what the breakdown is. If you look along the very top bar, all right, this is the entire shop. How many estimates have we done? How many invoices, orders of this year, this month, sales this year versus this month? And then because I'm logged in as John, right, let's just pretend I'm a CSR or a salesperson or even the owner. It says John and his numbers or her numbers would be here. Because EFI also has a product called Market Direct Storefront, which is basically a great web-to-print add-on to your PrintSmith. It will feed orders into PrintSmith 24/7. We'll also let you know what type of activity you've got with your web orders. The rest of the icons are pretty straightforward. PrintSmith is a 30-plus-year-old MIS product, thousands of installations nationwide, USA, Canada. Creating estimates, multiple quantities on the estimate, emailing the estimate, all single-click events, converting the estimate to a new order. Inside the invoice box here, the new order resides as a job ticket, a work order. It eventually will become an invoice. You'll be able to look at all of your jobs that are pending. For those of you that are in production, you'll be able to monitor where jobs are in the shop, what piece of equipment, whether they're in pre-press or bindery or shipping. For those of you who have walk-in traffic, we can also manage your point of sale. We have a cash register. We have a thermal receipt printer that prints everything out. Get them in, get them out real quick, then get back to your business. On any job, you can also raise a purchase order. So if you're sending something out to another vendor, whether it's for offset printing or die cutting or special bindery, signage, you can raise a purchase order on a specific item. For those of you who are going to be taking care of bookkeeping, PrintSmith does manage 100% of your accounts receivable. So when the estimate becomes an order, all right, the order eventually becomes an invoice, you'll mark it complete, you'll post it, and then eventually you'll get paid. Next is daily closeouts, weekly closeouts, monthly closeouts. This is how you just basically keep your books nice and clean. Over here, this is where you're going to manage all of your customers, all right? Every customer is assigned an account number. You'll be able to tell when they owe you money, how they're doing. Each account's going to have its own little contact database, all right? Unlimited number of contacts for your accounts. You'll be able to look up account history. That'll be all of their invoices. You'll be able to repeat orders, reorder jobs, look at payments. You'll be able to look at all estimate history. You'll be able to import your stock definitions from your favorite paper vendor. You'll maintain account utility. We've got hundreds of reports that you can choose from. You can schedule them. You can just print them out, you can PDF, and most importantly, you can now export everything. Your charge definition tables, that's where you're going to set up your pre-press, your bindery, your mailing. We'll be able to set up your digital presses, your offset presses, and then, of course, EFI, we own Fiery, and PrintSmith does have Fiery integration. As for the rest of the dashboard, this little box here, these are the jobs that are due today. These are the jobs that are running late. Now, please understand, this is our demo. It's myself and several other gentlemen that use the software to deliver demonstrations to our customers. So we've got a lot of jobs in the overdue box. But in the real world, hopefully you're not going to have a lot of jobs that are overdue. But if you are, at least you know they're there. You'll get them on schedule, and then they'll pop over here on the due today. For those of you who have a design team, you'll be able to set each individual order out for proof. You'll know what's waiting on approval. And then down here, lower left corner, you'll be able to see what estimates are pending. You can just land on any one of them, single click, and open it right up. And PrintSmith also has a nice little appointment reminder system built in, whether it's a call, whether somebody's coming in to meet with you, or whether you've got to go out there on the road and meet with them, we'll pop up your reminder. All right, let's keep moving forward with the rest of the demonstration. I'm going to start out with the easy stuff. By selecting this account button, we can break your accounts into prospects as well as all of their contacts, okay? What I'm going to do for demonstration purposes, I'm going to select my EFI Chicago office, single click, and here is another dashboard just on the one account that you selected. Over here on the right-hand side, critical information, they owe you money. Current, what's 30 and 60 and 90. That's the grand total. And then obviously you can click on the money wheel if you want to drill down and see all the different invoices. Another nice feature is we're tracking their sales this month versus this year. How did they do last year? What's their year-over-year growth? The ratio of how many quotes you write up versus how many orders you write up. Another nice feature is how many estimates that have been won versus set to loss. We'll also rank the customer so you can see exactly who you're dealing with. And then here on the bottom, you've got the option to see how their sales have been trending over the last 1 year. And this is a rolling calendar. You can break it down to the last 6 months, 3 months, or 1. Okay? That's basically showing you what's been going on a daily basis. As for the rest of the account information, the first tab is basically your contact invoicing address, your statement address if it's different. You can have one person placing the orders, and then you can say, hey, maybe another guy named Mike Grace, that's the person that's going to pay with their statements. You'll be able to set up their credit limit spending, when they're due, any finance charges, any preset discounts. You'll manage your tax tables. There's other various settings here as to the type of business they are, what's their default method of shipment. Maybe you get a blanket purchase order. You can force the purchase order to be entered on the invoice. You can also have an option here not to send the customer statements. Okay, back to the main menu. All right. So usually when myself and my other sales reps are hosting demonstrations, we like to take people through the simple part of creating an estimate, doing multiple quantities, converting it to a job ticket. Let's begin. So we create an estimate. We want to know who is it for. So if you type in a couple of letters, we'll bring you to your customer. If you have another way of searching like Chicago, we'll find all accounts just with a couple of letters. If you know the name of the person, like my guy is Joe Davenport, it'll still bring you to the same account. Now, you've got 3 different options here. The first one is creating a job. You're going to create from scratch. By doing so, you can mix it up as a multi-part, meaning part of the job might print offset, part of the job might print black and white digital, another part of the job might print all color. So you can actually create a top-level record and then put in your press in black and white, any color. So these would be 3 child records of the mother record being multi-part. Or you can just create the job straight to offset, straight to black, straight to color, as well as the other options that are available here. Now, with account history, this is the single customer, EFI Chicago. This is their history database. On my demo, we've got close to 500 invoices that are in here. So if I'm looking for a specific invoice number, type it in, it will find it. If you're looking for a job that had the word postcards in it, type in part of the name. We'll show you all the different jobs that had postcards. Highlight it, hit next, and you've created your new job. You can also create a job from an old estimate. So if there's an estimate that you've done and now they say, hey, let's repeat that, highlight it and hit next and we'll repeat that order for you. Another nice feature in PrintSmith Vision, commonly used by our customers, is that they'll create pre-designed templates. You'll be able to manage a user-defined list of all different types of templates. It'll be pre-selected on what piece of equipment, whether it's offset, whether it's digital, whether it's large format, okay? So even if it's anything like a label or a banner, you just have to highlight the particular template category, highlight your product. So if we're doing a banner and it's 36 by 60, click next and it becomes a new order, okay? Let's do a new job. Let's do in color digital. And here are the steps to create an estimate for a new customer, okay? The first thing that we normally do is we'll give the job a name. So I'm just going to put my name. And let's see, here it would help if I spelled my name right. And I'm just going to put in today's date as our brochure name. Okay. The next thing I'm going to pick paper, and I have a go-to called Hammer Mill. So again, just a couple of letters will get you to all your popular stocks. And the stocks that are highlighted in the darker blue, those stocks we actually have in inventory. It's a standard feature in PrintSmith. You'll be able to start your new PrintSmith up with, let's say, 50,000 sheets of a given house stock. And as you start creating new orders, we'll do a FIFO deduction. So this particular hammer mill is a digital cut size, okay? It will automate itself to go on whatever digital press. These would be your presses, okay? So whatever your favorite vendor is. So what we have here is a parent sheet coming out of the carton. It's going to run the same size, 1218, and the default finish size is also 1218. Now, if it's a different size at the finished, you're going to click this little facsimile of a sheet of paper, and then you can hit your pull-down list and go through, hey, this is a 5.5, 8.5 postcard, and it trims 4 sides, and I want it to bleed all around. So what the software does, it says, I'm going to put 4 of those 5.5, 8.5 cards on the one sheet, which is 1218. And it also allows for 8 cuts per lift. So every time that blade comes down, you're charging your customer for cutting. Now, if it's an unusual that's not in your existing pull-down list, I'm just going to type in 3.25 by 9.5. It will put 5 on the one sheet, and it'll have 12 cuts per lift. You'll manage the bleed, you'll manage the gutter. For those of you in offset, if this was an offset job, I could add a gripper, I could add a color bar, I could run it portrait versus landscape, okay? But because it's a digital job, I'm going to basically keep it with the digital specs. All right. So now we tell the software whether it's 1 or 2 sides, simplex or duplex. And then the most important thing is top right-hand corner, please. Draw your attention here. I'm going to go with 5,000 to start with. PrintSmith Vision will now calculate the retail price per click. You're going to see the price here of $9.45. That includes paper, printing, markup. It includes all your cost of labor and burden. And then down here, because we know the carton weight and the M weight, this job, once it's cut up, should come in at about 26 pounds. You'll also notice that I've got some presets here. So it's adding a little for a digital proof, some pre-cutting, and some post-cutting. Now, if there's anything else you wanted to add, you hit the Add New button. So if it's any type of design charge, you type in design, you estimate how much time they need. In this case, I'm just going to put in 2.5 hours. It auto-calculates the price based on your hourly rate to the customer. So I'm going to add that in there. The next thing I want to do is, let's say, I want to browse. I want to go to my bindery, and I'm going to go to my perfing and scoring. And all of these rates here that you see, these all come with a brand new PrintSmith. So you don't have to necessarily spend a weekend putting everything in. We're going to give you a lot of these industry standards as part of the new software. By just single clicking that perf and score, it knows it's a 5,000 run. On the back end, it knows setup, minimums, make ready. Per unit, this one totals at $76. Okay, I'm going to add that. And if there's anything else you want to put in there, like shrink wrapping or special boxes, anything you can imagine, the software will do that for you. So if I'm going to drop these into a small carton, it also calculates 2 cartons, and it charges $4.80. Right? So that's the price, $1,269 down here at the bottom right-hand corner. And the customer says, hey, John, I need a price on 10,000 and maybe a price on 20,000. So I hit Add Quantity. And then my next quantity, I'm going to put in 10,000. Okay. I'm going to save that. So now I've got 5,000, I've got 10,000. And if I wanted to, I could do one more, and just for fun, it's a demo, let's say 25,000, okay? Now I can give the customer a price of 5, 10, 25,000. We're gonna move over one screen, and that's the estimate summary, okay? Now, you can see I've got multiple items. Why? Because it's multiple quantities. That's the unit price. As obviously you can see it scales down. That would be the estimated tax, and that would be the grand total. Now, before you go sending out this estimate, one of the things that I would encourage you to do is use our costing feature. So just on that one item, we're going to tell you your estimated cost of time, material, and labor, okay, what you're selling it for, where you're making your money. And we purposely leave some things in red. We want to show you in the real world that if you're seeing anything in red, that means you're selling it for less than your cost. So you want to be able to tweak that and fix it right away. Down here, we're exposing the actual cost of the job at about $445. That's the retail price. There's your gross margin and percent. This is expandable or collapse. You've got special instructions. You've got the order date and the time, when they plan on delivering it, and there's always a conflict when the customer wants it based on when you can deliver it. You can also set a reorder date into the future. So let's say you want to try to win more business at the beginning of the year. This will remind you. You can choose your method of shipment. I'm just going to go with UPS ground. And if you wanted to, you could use some sort of purchase order number. Okay? And we'll save that. Even during the course of estimating, we'll warn you when a customer is late paying you or if they owe you a lot of money. Now, with this particular estimate, I want to go back to the regular screen here, and I want to show you what it would look like. So by hitting the email estimate button, I'm going to show you what it looks like on screen. Your logo, your salutation, the estimate number and date, the bill to, the ship to. There's the base estimate number. Remember, that was 5,000. So we show you the name, the size of the paper, the type of paper, and then we show the 10,000 and the 25,000. And that would just go straight out as a PDF to email. Now, normally what happens is the customer calls up and, hey, that's a great price on the 5,000. I don't have the need for the 25, but I do like the 10,000. So let's do this. Move forward. Give me the 10,000 run. So just bullet point that, and then we hit the convert. All right. So we're going to convert this estimate to become a new invoice. And by doing so, the screens are going to pretty much look the same. We're going to tell you, just in case anything prices have changed, give me the new price versus the old. just in case anything changed with the name of the paper, whether it's the pricing, whether it's the size, whether it's the name, we'll warn you. And now we have the same exact information for the customer, the same exact job details. However, it was moved up to a 10,000 run. Remember? All right. Now, a couple things you can do here. You can print out the job ticket. You can add a digital asset. And by doing that, we're going to take. All right. So we confirm that. And now the file is attached. Here's where you can print your job ticket, your work order, and this is where you can send it out to your Fiery. Because EFI owns Fiery and EFI owns PrintSmith, you can actually send this order straight to your command central, put the paper in the machine, and then release the job to print. Now, once all of that is done, then we come over to Invoice Summary. Let's say the job's getting all wrapped up, ready to go out the door. You can again look at your costing. You can print the invoice, email it straight to the customer, and then if you wanted to, we've got options to put in a discount. In this case, I'm just going to say 10%. We've got options to put in the freight charges, any FedEx. I'm just going to put in 25. And just for fun, I'm going to show you how easy it is to take a deposit. So we're going to take a check. That's a check number. And let's just pretend we're getting $1,000 down. Now I want to show you what the invoice looks like. And again, it's just loading the PDF to my screen. So your logo, your bill to, ship to, there's the name of the job. And then down here at the bottom, it shows the discount, the subtotal, then the tax, plus the shipping, less the deposit, making it a $2,008 job, with an amount due of $1,008. Why? Because remember, we took their deposit. So it's a quick shot on the invoice. Now we can also send the job out to our new product called Ship Express. This will take the UPS, whether it's next day or ground or FedEx or even USPS for parcel, and it'll populate the ship from, the ship to. It'll know how many, and it'll know where it's going to. If you hook up your scale, that'll even automate it even more. When Ship Express is done calculating the rates, we'll put that information here, and then we'll also populate the tracking number. Now, usually what happens here is that we're going to move the job from being in process. Now we're going to invoice it. So we've set this customer up as a net 30 charge customer. So we're going to take that $1,008 balance and we're going to charge it to their account, and we'll continue to get warnings. We have the option of printing the receipt, in what format, and then you can choose to email it all at one time. So we're going to post that job. So it is no longer in our pending documents. It's no longer in work in process. It's down here in account history. Okay. And then from this, you're able to repeat the order. A quick overview of pending documents. So every job that's in your shop, it can come from our storefront. Maybe you wrote it up traditionally over the phone, via email, the customer's at the counter, salesperson brought the order in. And then over here, you can also look at your estimates. What's really cool about this is that you can be able to see what jobs are at what location. So if I want to see what jobs are in bindery, all right, it'll say whatever jobs are in bindery. Okay. This works great on an iPad or any one of your mobile devices. So if somebody calls you up and says, hey, where's my job? You can actually click in and find out where the job is. So you can see these guys are in design or bindery. It's waiting for the artwork. These are running, etc. Okay. Quick demonstration on posting payments. So if a customer owes you money, you bring them up to screen, and this will show you all of the jobs that are older versus all the jobs that are new. So this is the one that we just worked on together. You can see it's at the bottom. It's got a $1,000 balance, the invoice number, and the date. Pretty straightforward. You just put check marks next to the ones that they're paying you, and we'll take that off of their $45,000 balance. Now, one of the other features I do want to show you is that we've got integrated storefront technology. So over here where it says pending documents, we have this tab here called web orders. And these are all the jobs that come in from our market direct storefront. So these MDSF numbers have been converted to PrintSmith numbers, okay? And a quick demonstration is if Bob Jones wants to buy his business cards, he's going to log in to his storefront. He hits the Buy Now button. And based on his user profile, we'll have his first and last name, we'll have his address, we'll have his phone number, his cell phone, and his email. These are all form fields. This is all variable data. This is part of our Smart Canvas. Smart Canvas is an integral of our Market Direct storefront. It's part of the standard package. There's no real need for a Fusion Pro or even Adobe InDesign. By adding Bob's to the cart, let me just give you the quick job name. Add it to the cart, give it a quick preview, watermark it, put the word proof in the back, make sure that they don't take it elsewhere. And here we have just a pretty straightforward job for, in this case, it's $87. So when I go to the Proceed to Checkout button, how do I want it shipped? Any address book changes? I've already got an account set up. I can pay you at the store. Or we can also activate credit card. In this case, the buyer is Carol, and Carol's got a purchase order. So when the buyer places their order on our Market Direct storefront, it's going to create a thank you, an order confirmation. All right. Notice the order number is 1359 at 87.50. I'm going to put a PrintSmith, and you'll see the order has already come in. 1359 is now job number 3293, and if I wanted to get started on it, I just give it a quick click. There are the details of the order. These are the storefront reminders. There's the asset. The PDF is attached. You can see how it will impose. Hit the fiery button, get it out to print, bill it out, post it, take their money, credit card, check, cash, it all works, and I'm going to post it. Now, by posting it out of PrintSmith, when the customer wants to check in on their order, so they'll be back at their storefront homepage, they'll be logged in, order history and status, and then there's the business card that I had just ordered, and you'll notice that now PrintSmith says to storefront, hey guys, here's my new invoice number. It was a $95 job. There's the date and the timestamp. And we also include a PDF of the invoice. If you wanted to get paid online, just simply work with your merchant server and put in your pay online link. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your time. That about wraps it up. You can always go to EFI. You can also call me. My name is John Fleming, 480-538-5835. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it.